Hi there. Welcome to Dumb SEO Questions. Each week we meet to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us tonight we have Daniel Negraha, world's greatest programmer. Dan is adding the news section for us right now because I forgot. Also, we have David Rozam. David is an SEO copywriter. He works from the frozen wastelands of Middle England. Masataki Wasa is a Google top contributor on the AdSense and Google Plus Help community. He's also webmaster of wasaweb.net, wasaweb.net. Micah Fisher-Kirshner is Senior SEO Manager for Zazzle.com in the United States, and Rob Mars is an AdWords aficionado from the Netherlands. He is also a Google top contributor on the Dutch web search and AdWords communities. And Tim Capper, rumoured to be a close confidant of Vladimir Putin. Tim got his first job actually in SEO because he thought the application was for Soviet embassy official. Anyway, Tim is proud to call himself an SEO, and he is also a conversion rate optimization specialist. He hails from somewhere near David in the frozen wastelands.
Jesus, nowhere near Northamptonshire, mate.
How many miles from Northamptonshire to David's place?
I don't know, 80. I'd guess.
Oh,
mate, we drive further than that to get the milk in the morning.
Yeah.
Now you've got the wastelands, haven't you?
Yeah, he's in the frickin' frozen, flaming wastelands down there. No, the baked wastelands.
All that shrub and bloody kangaroos. That's what you get down there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and the most dangerous thing on four legs is a flaming dog.
At least we get plenty of jumps. Anyway. All right. Our first question is from David Jones, and it's a question regarding page and domain authority. David said, hi, a couple of questions regarding page and domain authority. I just realized I've done the wrong thing and not shared my screen. I'll fix that. Okay. David said, if I have a link from a website with a high domain authority, e.g. 70 or above, but the page authority where the link is placed is very low, such as 1, does that link have any value? He said, which is better for SEO, a link on the home page of a website with domain authority 20 or 30, or a link on the inner page of another site with a very low page authority but high domain authority?
Sorry, I'm trying to refine the order.
Oh, right. Did it come up properly this time?
Doesn't look like it. I've got the, let's see, questions 123. I've got the canonical back.
Okay.
HTTP and HTTPS one.
Try refreshing the page. It's got refresh the question order.
Yeah, I've done that a few times now. for both.
Okay.
You guys have that
Try
order?
closing it off and opening it again.
And yes, I've already restarted. I know my computer's plugged in.
No, I'm having problems as well. Although I've got the questions, I'm still not animated. There's no video on my Qpopter page.
Yeah,
Okay.
the animations popped up now for me for Jim, but
Yeah, it's working for Jim, but I can't persuade it to work for mine.
yeah, the order still doesn't show the same. That's weird.
Okay. Well, look.
Order questions, maybe? Let's see.
Is everybody's question one? Is
there it
that is that the one you see on my screen now?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
his question one. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. All right. Well, look, maybe we'll pick up that question for David Jones a little bit later on. Let's have a look at what should have been the first one on our run list. If only I wasn't such a dill. Mark Bikerdike asks, would you canonical back to the HTTP or canonical to the HTTPS? This is a hi. He said, on our site we have HTTPS implemented for a login area. There is duplication in URLs, i.e. www.site.co.uk and HTTPS www.site.co.uk both exist. What's the best practice regarding redirection? Would you canonical back to the HTTP or canonical to the HTTPS? Or does it make no difference? We know HTTPS is recommended now, and so are favouring redirects to the HTTPS. What are your thoughts?
Well, first off, there should be an extra slash after the HTTPS. So just very pedantic, but makes a slight difference. And the colon should be before the slash as well. Ooh.
Yeah.
While I'm on it, you could say nothing's secure in the UK, so then there's that. But no, joking. So best practice. Yeah, you're seeing that Google's starting to really push for secured connections. So yeah, you're. Was it something I said?
No, mate. Everything just like refreshed. Everything just refreshed for me. All the chat and everything just disappeared. Everything's just refreshed.
All right.
Like,
well, at least it's not me this
Yeah,
time.
me too.
Yeah, same here.
Me too.
apparently we all left
It was a
and
server.
rejoined.
It didn't like my UK joke. All right.
Yeah, fuck you all.
Yeah, we denizens of the wastelands.
Yeah, don't mess with the wastelanders.
We usually call that New Jersey, but that's another story.
Well, which is it? Do we do?
I would
you
rel
canonical
canonical HTTP to HTTPS.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, the thing about that is just you have to be careful on what that implies. There are a lot of a lot of quirks that come from that. You have to basically make sure that every single thing on that page is then also HTTPS, and that goes from images to RSS feeds, APIs, anything that's going to be referenced on that page as well has to be under HTTPS. If not, users may get that warning that the page is not secure. So there's a lot of quirks that come out from making that kind of switch. So, same thing with even if you have any ads on your site. It's a real pain. There's a lot of technical things you have to just be aware of.
Yeah. Okay, Mark, I hope that's the answer you're looking for. We must press on, otherwise we'll be here all night. Gregory Christan asks, does anyone implement call tracking to any of their marketing channels? Gregory said, I have a question about call tracking. If so, if you do implement call tracking to any marketing channels, what do you like to do with the data? Do you integrate the data with Google Analytics with goals? I'm pretty new to call tracking and I'm not sure what to track and how to track phone leads. Anybody?
I used to do this back when I was in the agency world, so this was a while back. Yes, so I used to, what I like to have fun with, and I'm not saying this is necessarily quite the right approach these days, but at least back in the day, I had call tracking set up by different channels, entering in different kind of themes that might be important. So you may want to go far beyond channels. Now, granted, that's assuming you can afford that. And by channels, I mean marketing channels, just to make sure I clarify. And these were generally useful because then you could tie in which call tracking what source it came from. But at the same time, you can also oftentimes just have your call service ask for, say, a specific code that's on the page, and that can then give you a lot more information, such as this one actually came from a organic search on Google, and leverage that as a way to know what leads or conversions that phone call led to. Now, depending on your data sources, then you could take that information and either A, upload it back into Google Analytics, or if the call tracking service has that functionality, it can do it for you. Or B, if you prefer to take that data offline, you can take the data from Google Analytics and match it up into an offline database with your phone information. So that is kind of what I would do. Now, there are downsides, of course, with a little bit of that. If you're looking to have a consistent phone number and you're in the local SEO type space, that's going to potentially create a problem for consistency. I've seen some people just put additional numbers at the end where it doesn't matter. Where if you go past the, I don't know what country you're in, let's just say you only have 7 numbers, and then you just add on a few numbers more after that, those numbers really don't actually do anything, and so if the system is able to track that, then that's a way to still try to keep your one number, but have people to keep adding the numbers to tell you more in your system. So that part is possible. But yes, I definitely have been good about kind of trying to make sure that track that back to your goals, because knowing what helps from online to offline is really a huge benefit to any business to see that value, both from potentially a first time kind of user event, and if you really want to go down the advanced route, you can use it for connecting up against multiple attributions.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, moving on to the next. I have a question now from Brian Leichtig. He wants to rank a link on his web page a little higher for its keywords. And the keywords are Columbia MD IT support and Columbia Maryland IT support. He goes on to say, I've added several backlinks and done all that I can think of. Any help would be great to try and get it up on the first page. Anybody?
I'll take a look at the page.
Yeah, just looking, Jim. Hold on, mate. You've got to give us a second.
You just can't have dead air, can you, when you're broadcasting? You know, we should be talking. Excuse me.
Well, my first thing is that, okay, look, I know you've done a related information there, you know, from and you've linked at Wikipedia and stuff like that. First off, get rid of that. Put your own, you know, if you reckon you're working in the Columbia, Maryland area with in terms of IT support, you know, you then should obviously know about. I don't know. You might want to add some technical information that you know about in terms of, you know, fiber optic in the area, nearest connection points. These are the best areas that can get these kind of things. Possibly list a couple of clients that you work with in that area. You could you know, list a couple of clients in that area. But I would certainly just, you know, I mean, like linking out to, you know, that sort of Wikipedia thing is a bit like kind of an easy get out of, you know what I mean? Like get out of actually doing a bit of research and thinking and knowing what's in the area and what companies do I serve in the area, etc. That to me just provides nothing on the page to potential customer.
Yeah, sounds sensible to me.
I'd also kind of go down a little bit of the route that it's the content feels a bit bland on the homepage in particular. It's also this part always bothers me. It's a little bit of gray font on a white background. So depending on who your users are, particularly for say IT support, font size might want to recommend to make it a little bigger and easier for them to read. Where currently this might be even more frustrating than the issue they have, and so they might look for another site. Just kind of think about it, because that'll get them to kind of bounce back pretty quickly, and that might not help you in terms of, you know, Google kind of seeing it as a valuable site that way. Let's see what's there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, so right, starting at the top of this page, in that sense, we've got an image. I don't know what that is. Is that Maryland, I suppose? You know, you might want to potentially change that to, you know, something to do with more like IT. You know, an image of a server or something, but I think that could be a better image. Your first introduction paragraph, I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, maybe it's me being a bit cynical, but I can like I just pick up the, you know, the slight repetition of the words there, which, you know, maybe you could just remove one or two of them. Instead of why hire us, instead of doing something like that, it would be, this is about IT support, correct? So it would be our IT support, solution. And then actually list what you do in terms of IT support. So, for example, you could split it into 2 paragraphs. You could split it into sort of managed services and, I don't know, just emergency, whatever the case may be. A couple of bullet points about, because you're talking about IT support here. We're not going into network design and web design and blah 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 that you've included in there. I would specifically, list all your things. This is your page that you are selling to a client, right? So if someone happened, now you've come here asking about, okay, I want to rank for this. So let's say you miraculously appear for IT support in Columbia, Maryland, right? This is your shot to sell your product to that person that's viewing it. If it makes no sense to them, being position 1, they won't either get your help, fill in your help now, or phone you. They'll just go, oh, makes no sense, or that's not what I'm looking for, and leave. So your why hire us should be out, our IT support solutions, and then break it down. What do you offer? So is it managed? Is it emergency? Is it, so your IT support, boom, 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 a couple of key things. If you're in IT support, you probably know why people phone you every day. List those top 10 things. Bullet point them. This is what we do. Blah, blah, we can get to you. So this is the situation, etc., etc., etc. And then your related information. I already said get rid of that. And you want related information to do with Columbia, not Wikipedia stuff. I'm talking about things that people who have an IT infrastructure in their business need to know. So, I mean, I'm not in the game, but I'm assuming they want to, information about connection speeds, what's happening, what's happening industry-wise in the area, when is the next fiber install, what is my connection speed from this area, that area, solutions that we can provide, all that kind of stuff. But it all gets back to providing that information for the person that lands on this page, assuming you get to number 1, is whether they actually bother phoning you or not. Rant over.
I would have also gone with the kind of confusing brand name, too, if you throw that in there. Baltimore Computer Solutions, but it's meant for Columbia, Maryland, where kind of Baltimore is its own county versus it's kind of outside Maryland. So as I was looking through, I kind of got thrown off. It's probably fine because people might know that in the area, but for someone not in that, it looks a little weird for me when I'm going through and say, okay, wait a second, you're looking on the homepage to rank in the kind of Columbia, Maryland area, when your company name is Baltimore. So that kind of threw me off on that one. It's just kind of one of the things of, was there even a page set up about how you can service those areas here or there?
Tim Capper actually gave a great answer. I wonder if you'd explain that, Tim. You might not remember, but it was on the question from, help me. That's right. Joel C. Asked the question about a Google local page and how he could cover the fact that he travels from market to market as well as selling online. Do you remember that now? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, but That's to do with the local business page.
Okay.
But
I
he's
know.
talking about.
Yes, I am on. I noticed there isn't actually an address anywhere on this, the street address. Not that I can see anyway.
No street address.
No, it's not on the contact us, and I can't see it in the footer.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might will key them to where Columbus, isn't it?
yeah. Actually, Jim, talking about it, the page they've got connected to their site is a brand page. It's not a local business page, which they might want to actually. They might have one. The one that they've got connected to the site is.
Oh, they're using a Google Maps, that's why, and they didn't. Looks like it's literally on the highway. Yeah, their Google profile is literally on the Baltimore Beltway 695.
Yeah, you know what? I think you just need to sit back and forget thinking about how am I going to rank this page. First off, I would actually think, how am I going to sell this product to the people that would land on this page? You need to provide the solutions, you need to provide the information that would be beneficial to them, that they want to see and read. And then, that's gonna, just gonna help exponentially there. I would just go back and rethink this page totally.
Okay. Well, let's call that an answer for Brian Leichtig, unless anybody else wants to jump in.
Do they have a local business page? I mean, I say they've already got a brand one. I'm just going to do a Google. Yes, they do. They do. They have selected a serviced location, which, yeah, fine. So that will cover quite a large area. Oh, gosh. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just getting to the page eventually. Ouch. Yeah, Brian, another quick thing is it's your main category is computer consultant. I'm sure they do have IT in there somewhere. I would double check those. The one thing I hate seeing, and it just shows neglect, is the standard Google cover image. You've still got that, which please, change it. If a customer had to actually click on that, it's same as a website. What you put into it, you get out of it. Yeah, you're using posts. You're posting. That's great. No reviews. I would try and build those up. Definitely try and build those up. Yeah, and I would potentially think of just a couple of things. It's just a couple of things to just make it a little bit more inviting, brandable, should we say? Brand it up properly. and just double check your main category. Apart from that, do you guys have any videos? Because if you have any videos about the company, obviously you can add it to your pages. Those are always great. So next time, possibly when you're doing a big install or you're doing a whole IT system rework, it might be worth hiring a videographer for the day, which could be cut into a nice little, thing, which would actually fit on your IT support solutions page perfectly. Anyway, that's enough now.
Okay, we've got a question from Jur Krepping. He said, hello, I've been searching for an answer but couldn't find anything useful. So I hope someone here can help me. Jur said, I've agreed with a similar content website to put my banner on their page. They've placed it in the footer so it shows everywhere. Now my webmaster tools say I've got 1,486 links from that site, and I'd like to know if this is still considered as good for SEO, or can it be marked as spam by Google? Should I ask to make them no follow? Thanks in advance for all useful tips. You have to stay out of this, Tim.
You mean I can actually say something, Jim?
No, you can't join this one. He's asked for useful tips.
Ah, fuck off. Right, no follow, end of, move on.
Bad mojo. Bad mojo.
Yeah, look, you've got two situations here. If you've all of a sudden, like you said, you had no links, now you've got all these 1,400 odd links, that is like a big hello to Google. They will see us from a banner. They know that you generally need to pay for, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist. So you've now got 1,400 and however many links pointing to you that are paid for. Those paid for links under Google's guidelines need to be no followed, as in paid for advertising, need to be no followed. So yes, please go and no follow those.
Yep, totally agree. And Matsutake does too. I see that Matsutake mentioned this on the SEO Questions community on Google+. On to the next. This one is from Hardeel Singh, who's asked a number of questions of us on lost rankings. Sounds like a penalty to me. He said, hi, one of our websites was ranking higher in Google Maps listings on page 1 for various keywords like cardiologist, New York City, New York cardiologist, cardiologist, New York. But now, suddenly, some other new listings are ranking higher on page 1, and our listing is shown only for a few keywords. We also have a 4.9 rating for our listing, and the new listings are shown on page 1. And the new listings shown on page 1 have no rating. The URL of our website is newyorkcardiac.com.
Right, Hardeel, if you just give me 1 minute, mate.
What kind of rating does he mean?
He doesn't say, Rob.
Okay.
Oh, I think he's just talking about this. Is he not talking about reviews there? We have a 4.9. Yeah, that's based on your... yeah, but this might not be your reviews. It could simply be your location, mate. So, okie dokie. Right, so let's do, what was the keyword?
Cardiologist New York,
Okay.
New York cardiologist, and cardiologist New York City.
Right, let me see where you are located. See, this could, this may or may not, I'm just having a quick look, this could be just short and simply the first thing with this is always looking at a potential pigeon problem. So you are in 115 East 86th Street. So I just want to see, okay. Your pigeon for New York cardiologists. I wish I knew New York, because obviously I could then. Oh no. Actually, the centroid for the New York cardiologist is quite wide, which is quite surprising. Because it's, I've just seen. Right, those are ads. So we need to look at another reason. Because you are pretty much, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much slap bang in the middle of the centroid. So the question is why you're not showing. You have some nice reviews. That's good. You post regularly. I may want to potentially change, if I was you, I would try and shake it up a little bit. We've got a lot of the same images. You're just kind of just reposting your own front page and image and stuff. Okay, so the other question is why. Let's see. How are you for local citations? Yep, you actually do. You do quite nicely. You've got roughly 100 odd. You've got roughly 100 odd local citations, but the one that has just jumped straight up at me is there's a local citation from a site called pr4links.com. So that makes me question the yeah, I would look at building up some decent local citations. Your local citations. Can anyone still hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, something's
something in
gone
the
like.
background.
Yeah, I've got some funny distortions going on.
Yeah. Yeah, your local citations certainly need to build those up. So essentially, you've really, once I drill down into those, you've pretty much, out of what looked like 100 odd, is actually about 5 decent ones. I would certainly need to build those up. Yeah, definitely. You're slap bang in the middle of the centroid, so pigeon shouldn't be affecting you. Therefore, I think you really need to look at building up local citations to the site. That's certainly for sure. I think that yeah, definitely that's your first step in the road to coming back.
So the 4 locations apparently, right?
Sorry?
There are 4 locations for this particular place, and then 3 are listed under locations tab on the website. What's the 4th one?
Well, their main local page is for the main Upper East Side one. I haven't actually found the others. Yeah, that's another question. On your locations page, I would. So let's say I've clicked to the Upper East Side one. And you're calling it Upper East Side, but I would actually rename it, call it again. That's your Cardiac Diagnostic Center, Upper East Side. You've given a bit of the address there. I would mark that up with schema. Certainly work on your local citations. They aren't great. Yeah, I think there is some slight of yeah, they right. Yeah, the 4th location. Oh no, hang on. I've got 115 East. The reason I said 3 because there's actually 2 listed at the same time. Got A and B here. So there's A. Where's B? Okay, right, Hardiel. I have found an issue for you. I found a duplicate page for your. Let me just double check these addresses. Come on. Yeah, that looks like the exact same address. Phone number, everything. Okay, yeah, right. I'm just going to chuck this into the chat. If someone can put this duplicate one into the post for Hardiel. Right, Hardiel, that is a duplicate page for you. So what you're going to need to do Tell you what I'll do is I'll come out of this now and I'll give you the business support URL for Google Business Support, and you'll need to contact them about this duplicate page, and they'll take care of that for you. Yeah. It's funny, but this duplicate one wasn't showing up on the new map, so I had to go and search the old ones. I don't know why that actually caused why you got a second one exactly in the same place.
Rob Mars said in the chat, shouldn't he use Manhattan more often instead of NY?
Well, I mean, I don't know what his actual address is, his postcode, so I'm assuming that I don't obviously know New York, so yeah. Right, that's that. So I'll just get out the URL for Google Business Support, and Hardiel, you're going to need to contact them, and that's enough from me whilst I go and find URLs.
All right, Hardiel, you'll find those URLs on the dumbseoquestions.com site on the question page for this particular question. Here's one from Mitchell Schaefer. He wants to know if he has made the correct choice. He said, I have a retail store client who had an established website, about 5 years old, and this site was hosted on caraudiobainbridgegeorgia.com. The client also owns precisionga.com, which is simply pointed to the other website. We built a new website and replaced the old one on caraudiobainbridgegeorgia.com. I chose to keep the long URL because of the longevity of the site and the keywords contained in it. Obviously, precision.com would have been more user-friendly. Did I make the correct choice? Well, I think that as names go, I mean, you could do worse. But if you're seeking a boost from using the address and county, you might be surprised that it doesn't make all that much difference. The exact match domain. Anybody?
Well, I think it sounds even kind of spammy. And I wouldn't want to explain that address on the phone to my clients to get them to the website.
Yeah, true.
I guess it depends how much SEO goodness, if you wish, is invested in the sites in Carl Audio, Bainbridge, Georgia.com, and whether the new site has been has had permanent redirects to continue what's been done over the past 5 years. If CarlAudioBainbridge.com was effectively dead in the water, well, it's possibly not worth continuing with it because it's a mouthful and a bugger to spell out. But if there was something to be had for the old site, over and above it being about 5 years old, then I think he's right to stay.
Okay, anybody else?
So, sorry, I'm just trying to understand. So he's trying to ascertain whether he keeps that domain or not, is it? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that's it. But I think he also placed a complete new website on that old domain.
Oh, right.
It's
Okay,
already
so
done. The decision was made, and they've already done the deed. So he's asking whether he did the right thing after doing it.
Well, let's say he didn't do the right thing, but he should stay with what he did.
Well, he might have done the right thing. It depends how the old site was doing, doesn't it?
Well, I just hope he redirected the old URLs to the new
Absolutely.
URLs. That's far more important, in my opinion, at least.
yeah.
Yes, I think that's sensible.
I think we.
Changing over a domain name just for the sake of changing over isn't a good idea, but making a whole new website on an old domain, then he doesn't use much of the SEO efforts in the past if he didn't 301 the old ones.
I don't know if he's had a look at his link profile.
No, he didn't ask.
Yeah, no, because obviously, because the question was, is this a decent kind of domain? I did. I don't know if you knew, but I mean, wow, there looks like some mega kind of, I don't know, some sort of spam thing going on here. You seem to have picked up about 1 million links in the space of a month.
Let's call it negative SEO then.
Well,
Why?
let me. Yeah, I would personally have a look at your links profile. I see a lot of the pages that they're linking to R404 forward. So that is okay. I would just want to investigate, double check what the heck's going on. They are for anchor texts, French blue 7s, legend blue 11s, black infrared 2313s, Jordan 4 Columbia, and Jordan 11 Pantone. Check out your webmaster tools also. Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, moving on to the next. It's a question from Ben Ballagad. How can a pingback hurt your site? This pingback is automatic. It happens every time I use the word solar as an anchor to one of my links, even internal. I'm trying to rank for a long tail version of this keyword. I have seen what pingbacks are. They are snippets of posts from my site and linking to my site. Since they are links to my site, I hesitate to unapprove them. The problem with this particular pingback is I don't see a link to whomever this originated from. I have read that pingbacks are sometimes spam. Should I unapprove this particular pingback, or what are the consequences of allowing them? Come on, guys. If I had my camera on, you'd see I'm on my knees and begging.
I'll put your camera on. We want to see it.
Huh.
Yeah. I must say that on my site, which is a WordPress site, on my main site, which is a WordPress site, I do not allow pingbacks to appear on posts, mainly because a lot of them come from rather dodgy places. So my thought was, as they were probably no follow anyway, they weren't adding anything to the to either the user experience or the SEO experience. So I just don't display them. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that rationale, but that was mine when I started the site.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, Ben.
I've stunned them in
yeah,
sight.
go ahead. All right, Ben Ballagad, I hope that was what you were looking for. All right, our next is Christopher Hale is worried about his page speed. He said, my site is less than a month old, but I've been very busy adding content. And now I'm worried about page speed because I know it's important. My Google page Insights scores 73 for mobile and 87 for desktop. The scores from GT Metrics are 95 for page speed and 87% for Y slow. Of course, I have W3 Total Cache installed, but I don't know if it's optimally set up. Are these scores good? Should I be worried? And is there a website or information on the web that I can get some tips from? Any advice is gratefully appreciated. I do not have a CDN at the moment because I just started and not much traffic as of yet. Thanks, Christopher.
Right. I'll take this along a particular tangent. It may or may not be what Christopher Hale is looking for, but this speed of pages, speed of site issue, I've been having rather high bounce rates on my site, and I've recently stopped worrying about how the page is laid out, because it didn't seem to matter when I had images up, big images up or small images up. In other words, I tried looking at different ways. Now, one of the things that came up was, well, maybe this is to do with speed of loading. In other words, the page comes up slowly and people bugger off. So, as I said before, this is a WordPress site. I stuck in a lazy loading plugin, which pulls up the written content and only pulls up the images which are actually showing or about to show. This has sped up the site. I haven't actually looked at the speed of loading parameters, numbers, whatever. Perhaps I should. But the amazing thing is that my bounce rates have dropped by 35% since I implemented lazy loading. So if you have a WordPress site, get hold of a lazy loading plugin and bang it in and see whether it does wonderful things for you as well.
Anyone else on this question?
Are we? Am I doing a solo act here?
Well, you might be at this rate.
Are we doing any technical things?
Sorry, I'm back. Which question are we on again?
We are on question 8 about page speed. So on his Google Page Insights scores, he scores 73 for mobile and 87 for desktop. And the scores from GTmetrix are 95 for page speed and 87 for why slow.
Well, I mean, they've got a 95 score at least on one of them. But of course, the question really, let's see. Remember, these are page speeds. So my question then, of course, is he taking an average of all of them? So are there pages on the site that he's missing? And you know, what are the specifics of what they're saying? Why is it a 73 for mobile? Why is it a 87 for desktop? And usually those things will give them importance of how strictly they need to make it better or not, or how, not strictly, but like, you know, is it really important or is it kind of a nice thing to have? So depending on how large the site is, it may not matter too much. But once you start getting to a large size, those differences make quite a bit of an impact when it comes to your page crawl from the Googlebot's perspective. So you can kind of take a look, and usually, you know, there's some indirect correlation you can usually see between how slow your site is loading and then the drop in Googlebot crawls. So take a look at that within Webmaster Tools, and if you're seeing kind of a shifts in that case, you may want to work on improving it. But usually, if your site as a whole is kind of below 1 to maybe even 3 seconds, you're generally at a good pace.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, there are two questions that I would have with these kind of questions. One is the difference between what the human visitor would see and feel as being slow versus
Time to
what
first
bots
byte versus the full page load. Yes, hands down on that.
And second issue is, okay, you might see that your scores are quite low, or you feel that they're low, so you want to improve them. Is the effort involved in improving the page speed actually worth it? Could you spend your effort better elsewhere?
Yeah, agreed. I think that's
So
a fair point.
So it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think some of the scores are really good, I think. And the question is there a point of diminishing returns beyond which you might be able to increase the scores? You might be able to make your page load faster. But how much of a difference is it going to make in relation to the effort that you have to put in?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it all varies. Without knowing kind of a bit more of the site, I'd agree about that. Yeah.
Anyone else? Shall we move on to the next question?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, it's question number 9 on the list, and it's from Edita Martin. And he asks, what's the best way to report invalid Google Plus listings? His question states, what's the best way to report invalid Google Plus listings? For instance, a realtor claiming a for sale property, or a competitor dropping a peg on the map right next to your store through a Google Plus page, even though there's no store at that location. I know I can suggest an edit through Google Maps, but is that the best way to approach the problem?
Sorry, Massa, what question is that? What number?
Question number 9.
Okay, it's invalid.
So what's the best way to report a false Google Plus page? I mean, local Google Plus page.
Okay, you can do it yourself, obviously. So in Google Maps, where you obviously when you click on the location, you get that little drop-down panel on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side in the maps. At the bottom of that, you can obviously there's a feedback button, and you can say that this is not a valid business, or no business actually exists there, or whatever the case may be. However, in my experience, those do take quite some time to be investigated. I would go to the Google and Your Business forum. Obviously, with if you've got a whole selection of these, and start a new thread saying reporting invalid local pages, and actually just list them out there, and that way a TC can get these looked at much faster than if you were just to report feedback. And I know, for example, someone in the that like sort of We Buy Any Car, buying cars for cash. There was a massive one going on, and this was I think with over 50 URLs that obviously paid people to to use their address, because there was just literally 50 that were reported at the time, and those were all taken down in the space of a week. So those are two approaches. You can send the feedback yourself on the page itself, or if you want something to take effect pretty quickly, then drop it into the Google and Your Business forum, and a TC can expedite that.
Okay. I don't think we need to add anything to that. Shall we go ahead to the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. And that's going to be question number 10 on your list. And it's from David Jones. Questions regarding page and domain authority. David says, hi, a couple of questions regarding page and domain authority. If I have a link from a website with a high domain authority, for example 70 or above, but the page authority where the link is placed is very low, such as 1, then does that link have any value? Which is better for SEO, a link on the home page of a website with a domain authority 20 to 30, or a link from an inner page of another website with very low page authority but high domain authority?
Ooh, these are I love these types of questions. These are fun.
Well, naturally, if you can get the link on a higher domain authority, and FYI, domain authority is only some kind of random thing that Moz kind of creates. But if you could get one coming on the off their homepage, that would be better.
Well, but of course that depends on where on the homepage.
Yeah,
it also depends on the theme, I think.
Yeah, definitely. The question is like, if it's going to be on someone's homepage, I kind of, it's like, what kind of a link is that, in that sense of how are they portraying that link in that sense? Are they saying, in a banner, this is the greatest guy you've ever seen? Or whereas if something was on an internal page, to me that would be in an article or something to do with something that has a lot more potential to create to send the right traffic to you in that sense. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I think what you're saying, or at least the way I would put it, is that the links from the internal pages are much more likely to be naturally occurring links. There's unlikely to be a situation where that link would be anything but transitory on the home page. It's not likely to be a link that is important enough to be on the home page. So it's okay. So is it paid for? Is it otherwise undesirable?
Well, the fact that he can influence whether it is on the home page or on the inner page already makes it a no-follow one, according to Google. Because if you have influence on the link, it's not an earned link.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. The internal links are much more liable to be a natural non-earned link.
Yeah, and without seeing the context of how you're getting this homepage link, it could. I think you need to judge for it yourself in terms of how that link's going to look. How will it be perceived by Google? I would say that the internal page also, again, depending on how it's placed there, because I'm assuming it would be on a page that is much more relevant to yourself, would probably be the better place for it.
I think this is a kind of, in theory, if I do this question, isn't it? It's not an actual I've got these, which is better for me.
No, and in theory is a page with a high rank, of course, and less outgoing links more valuable than a link with a low rank and a lot of outgoing links. So
Depends
how long
which slide rule you use, doesn't it? So I think it's earn natural links and be thankful for wherever they are.
Okay. I think we've discussed this topic to. Shall we move on to the next one? I take that as a yes. Question number 11 on your list, and it's from Joel C, titled Reseller Club Spam. Hi everyone, new to the community, so I'm not sure if this has been answered. My analytics is being smashed by Reseller Club Spam and various websites affecting my results, and if you believe various blog sites, my SEO. It's not the referral spam that's the main concern, it's the keywords. What is the best way to fix this? Is Google going to act on this? Thanks in advance. I did Google around, but didn't find it much help.
I mean, you can filter those out of your analytics straight off, or block the IP.
Network domains, the servers.
Yeah, obviously you need the analytics to just you go and find the find out where that's coming from. You can filter it out, then you can filter it out, but ideally you want to just block it straight off from IP servers. Well, Micah will give you a better idea on how to do that.
Yeah, you can basically, well, in this case, he's saying that they're, it's not referrals, it's the keywords. So it's a little different. But yeah, you can basically, when you go into, although they just changed it recently, inside of Google Web Analytics, the last part, it was either the audience or awareness section. This is where you can find your network. It was like network domain and host service provider. So if you look for those two, usually if you look for that, and if you see those are generally at near to 100%, you can match those two up together. And if you find that it's consistently from that area, you can actually create an advanced exclude filter inside your Google Analytics in the profile filter section. This is making sure that you have admin control. In there is where, when you set that exclude, you can basically knock it out fully. This is in the case that the IP is consistently changing. Oftentimes, a lot of the spam bots unfortunately, don't go down the path of changing up their server IP, server provider, or their network domain. So you can actually create kind of these advanced filters to merge the two together, and then say, okay, well, merge those two, and if you need to merge direct, if you're getting keywords, then you probably want to merge organic search, and then by merging those all together, you can then say exclude that specific user-defined value or temporary value, and then boom, you shouldn't see that anymore. And if I can find an article that has that, I will, because I think a few other people have talked about doing that, and you can try to match it up to the way that you've done, to your specific concern. Yeah.
One thing I still don't get is the keywords issue. It pollutes your own data that you see on analytics, for example. But it doesn't really affect you otherwise, does it?
Well, it will, because if you're getting bad keyword data, that overall your overall metrics are going to get messed up. So there's that, and that's, of course, I'm assuming that bad data is organic and not necessarily paid search or some other issue that's coming in. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes your job difficult to see where, how people are coming to your site, visiting your site. But it doesn't affect your rankings, for example, does it? That you're receiving
so that depends
spam referrals.
on your viewpoint of whether or not you can click spam somebody downwards. If you're a believer in that CTR matters and that they've got a program that can get around it, to make it look like a human, then absolutely it can affect you. If you don't believe that can be done, then you've got no worries.
Mm-hmm. So this question has been answered, shall we say? And move on to the next one.
Yeah, I've also added the URL. I found it one example, Lunametrics, so I put it on the panelist answers.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, so question number 12 on your lists from Noel Tab, and goes on to say, can I spin my own? Question mark, and then there's an emphatic no after it. I have a question. I am going to start my own blog soon, and I am concerned with SEO. I want to know if I write my own high-quality content, can I spin my own articles? I want as many people to see my content as possible, but I do not want any penalties from Google. If I can spin my own articles, how do I even do that? Is there software, or do I have to do this manually? Thank you very much.
No, no, no.
No.
Yes?
We had to have one 8-ball out of the whole group say yes. I'm sorry, I had to come in right there.
Good. So,
Right.
no,
So
that's
look,
good.
right.
Difference of opinion. That's good.
No.
The thing that you need to think about here, Noel, okay, is that you're going to write some high quality content, okay, and then let's leave out the can I spin my own article bit, and then so it's if I write my own high quality content, How can I get as many people to see my content? Okay, so let's forget about the spinning crap at the minute, because for some reason you read something and saw something which just totally scrambled, created scrambled eggs here, mate. Okay, so the question here is, right, so you're going to develop a blog, great stuff. You've already decided that you're going to write some, really great quality content. And I'm probably assuming you're going to be doing this on a fairly regular basis, 1 or 2 a month, 1 a month, 3 a month, 4 a month, something like this. Okay, brilliant. So now the question is, how are you going to market that? Well, the best place for you to start, you're obviously on Google Plus. So you need to start engaging with people that obviously share the same, whatever you're going to be writing about, share the same interests, things like this. Start engaging, getting involved in conversations, things like this. The idea being basically is that when you publish your article, obviously onto your blog, and you put it onto your own page, you've already started to build up a bit of an interaction with people that you already know will enjoy your content. So that is your first avenue. Okay, and it doesn't stop there. You need to build on that. You can, if you wanted to, at the first instance of this is your first blog and nobody's really seen it, and at the same time you are building up engagement with people that are in that area, that's fine. You could think of using something like maybe stumble upon paid advertising just to get the ball rolling on that. Also Reddit, depending on the genre. But you don't want to go down the road of spun articles. Okay. Yes, there are programs out there that can do this for you. You do need to tweak them, obviously, and it literally changes a couple of words, sentences, things like this. Firstly, they look absolutely diabolical. If you didn't change them that much, then they are quite readable, but then they fail copyscape. So let's say, for example, now you've got your spun article and you go and chuck it onto all these other article directories. Now, one, Google doesn't like article directories, and if you had any internal links within that article going back to your own site, that's the first no-no. And then if you did actually remove any internal links coming back to your site and you did a spun article, well, what would actually be the point? So either way, it's like, so there it's no-no. 2, if somebody actually ever landed on that article directory and actually ever read that article, it would be so crap that they wouldn't even want to come to your site, because they think, well, if this is the quality that this guy turns out, it's pretty diabolical. So just totally get that spun article shit out your head. Another way of also, if you wanted to go down that road, but not spinning an article, but let's say during your time of, obviously you know what you're going to be writing about and what genre and what kind of stuff. You obviously know of some blogs already that you read regularly, that you enjoy. Build up a relationship with them, and why not try and approach them and to see if they will publish one of your articles, not a spun article. I'm saying this is another brand new, totally unique quality article. On that site that you like, that blog, that and obviously if it's really great quality and it's got a different angle and it's got something, they there's a good chance of them saying, yep, we'll publish that for you, and that's another way of actually building up your authority in that area, rather than yes, it's not generally going to come back to your your site, but it's that whole thing about building up your authority in that area, as understanding that area, an expert, knowledgeable in that area, and people will then start coming to your thing. But and obviously there's a whole another massive, you could go on forever about content marketing, but the point is, have a little think about this spinning articles. If you kind of don't sort of want to take our advice on this, experiment, actually spin an article, and then you'll actually literally see how diabolical it is. But work through the process. So if I take this article that's well, pretty unworkable and crap, and then I chuck it onto an article directory, one, Google has already said, look, that's a no-no. Two, what, if somebody actually read it, why would they come? So it's just the whole way through the thought process, it's just like, well, nobody's ever going to come back to your site, and the only thing that will be coming back to your site is a slap from Google. So just totally remove that out of your head and turn it around to, how am I going to market this quality content that I'm creating on my blog? That's what you want to be searching for, not an easy, quick, spin my kind of stuff. Everything takes time. There's no sort of quick fix. You need to get out there. You need to start engaging. Start, starting to get people to read your content, share it, and engage. Build up your your circle of people within that genre that will be interested in reading it. And it's a long process, mate. Nothing happens overnight, unless you hit like a jackpot where you manage to get something published in a really high trafficked area. And don't discount this. If you write something brilliant enough and you've built up a relationship, or they see that you're a regular contributor to their community and things like that, and you approach them, there's every chance, if your article is brilliant, adds a new spin, there's every chance that they will be happily publish your article. So and that could just be a great boost for your credibility and for your site. But it's always about unique individual pieces of content, either on your site or on other sites, but no spun stuff. Stay away.
So,
What he said.
Yes.
I don't think I've got anything to add.
Comments from the yes camp?
Yeah, I'm listening for this one.
Go ahead.
No, I was listening for the yes camp.
You might have to wait a while.
Oh, well, if anything, I was actually just going to comment right upon what Tim said. Also, in part of Google ain't going to come after you unless you do something specifically addressed towards them for that regard. And if you're planning on basically trying to get out there, you might want to have a crowd before you get out there, as Tim did address in regards of building a rapport with like the blog or wherever you're on beforehand, before you try going out and making your own. Because if you just try going out there and making your own, you may make it, don't get me wrong, but the chances of you making it are more if you have someone with you than against you, or that's not with you, should I say. That's the only thing I have to put into that.
Oh, okay. Just was wondering if you wanted to talk to me. You can always text me.
Okay. Any more comments on this topic? No? Shall I move on then? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 13 on your list. which is from K. Niraj Kayasta, and states, many websites put all their assets on the homepage. And he goes on to say, I find many websites put all their assets on their homepage. Does this practice not slow down the website? For example, this website, and he gives an example website, has presentations running on its homepage. Anyone?
Don't everybody jump at once now.
Exactly.
Just having a look at the example, so of the one he did. So, where's all these presentations? Okay, look, I don't exactly see what he means by these presentations. Is he talking about obviously the banner and the images and that? Is that what he's talking about?
Might be a slider thing at the top.
Yeah. Look, I think that depends on you and how you can compress your image files, and of course, you know what your servers are. Talking about sliders, generally, I think it all depends on the business. Whoa, we've got a little bit of a snowstorm going on. Cool.
Frozen Wasteland.
I've read, yeah, Frozen Wasteland. I've read a couple of things. Look, there's this new sort of little, well, I wouldn't say it's new, but it's called sliding images. People actually, they want to find what they're looking for on that page. So in this regard, having a static image, makes a lot more sense. But if you were going to have a slider, look, I don't see a problem in it, as long as you manage the files properly, and it certainly doesn't have to play a part on the speed and the loading of a site if they are managed properly. But you've got two kind of things here. Banner blindness, and there's this research out there now that people tend to flaming ignore it. I think it's entirely up to you on how you want to present your site, and if you like it, and you feel it works well with the site, and you've asked a couple of customers and people and colleagues whether they prefer it with or without, and you want to go with it, just make sure that the developers really deal with image compression, because it doesn't have to mean you're going to have a slow site at all.
I'd just throw that out there. If you don't really want an image out there, I'd just say more like disable your Java, your JavaScript, and you won't have that to worry about on your page to load. But other than that, I agree.
Any more comments on this question? Okay, shall we move on to the next one? Question number 14 on your list from Suresh Kumar, and he says, are my keywords penalized? Greetings, everyone. one of my website's keyword ranking has dropped down completely, and I don't see my website for the keyword. I'm worried that my keywords are penalized. If that's the case, could someone explain how that could have happened? Please give me suggestions to take care of this, and he wishes us all a happy weekend. Unfortunately, he doesn't give us the website in question, so it's a bit difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Jim asked him if he'd like to drop us his, domain, but no, nothing. I don't know how we can help him.
Yeah, I think if Suresh could provide us with more information, then perhaps we could discuss his site next week.
The only thing I would say on that regards is I'm pretty sure if you have a question in regards, not to me, because I'm new to this whole thing, but if you if you have a question to ask for anyone on this panel or anyone that you're trying to specifically ask a question to, make sure you give a proper question so that way we can answer your question to the best of our ability.
No, absolutely. So it would help to have that kind of information, and if a question relates to a particular site, it really is essential to be able to see that site in question. And I think on that note, we move on to the next question. Question number 15 on your list is from Andrew Moyes, and he states, or he asks rather, will this hurt me from trying to rank? Goes on to say, my personal website, still under construction, has many blog topics. Will this hurt me from trying to rank my car/home insurance pages with Google? I like to write about different topics, so my prospects can see that I am more human or real compared to the standard insurance agent. Your response is very much appreciated. And he does provide his website address.
Well, if you pollute your theme with all kinds of interesting trivia, I don't think that will help you to rank for standard insurances. It's a pretty strong market, and I think you would need everything that's possible to keep your theme as small and focused as possible in that market.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand this. So that is your personal website, okay? So will this hurt me from trying to rank your car home insurance pages? Are you saying that your car and home insurance pages are also on your personal website? So
pages,
okay.
he's talking about pages, not websites.
Yeah, but
His prospects must see that he is more human and real.
yes, but what I'm trying to say is if this is a personal site, where's the money? Where's the business site?
I think that's the same one.
Yeah, I think he's a one-man band insurance agent, isn't he? And he's
okay. Well, then yeah. Look, the thing is, you really need to structure this quite carefully. So if you are, if wasn't me.
You don't need to break into cars now, Tim.
It wasn't me. Nobody saw me.
I saw you do that. No play.
Sorry.
Okay. Yes. Look, I think like Rob was saying, is it needs to be fairly well structured. Okay, so I kind of get this. It's your own personal site, but obviously you're a one-man kind of guy, and your main focus is car, home. Let's say I don't know how many insurance like kind of products. What I would do is I would segment them properly into obviously car insurance, home insurance, etc. I would have dedicated pages towards those sort of offerings, almost as if you were actually building a website in as such. And you do need to try and stick within the realms of insurance, because if this is, let's say, I know you say personal, and that's where I kind of got confused. This is your actual sort of money site, your key to your brochure for your business as such. I would try and structure it, have proper landing pages for certain segments of those products, insurance products that you're going to be offering or selling, and those will always be kind of static pages. And then obviously your blog. I would be careful on diluting it too much in terms of, let's say, I went yachting this weekend or something. Unless you offer boat insurance, I probably wouldn't put that onto your blog. I would put that onto your social pages. Start thinking of your site not as a personal blog, but as of an actual money site. If people want to see you being a little bit more social, I'm sure that will come across in the style of your writing. So let's say on home insurance, you might do a blog post to do with, I just dropped my iPhone 5 and it's smashed, and a couple of pictures. And then lead it into your actual home insurance site and what your home insurance can cover, including phones. So if you're going to get personal, like I want to be a little bit more personable, only include things which you can factor into products that you sell within your site. I don't think, blog posts about, oh look, I went do you know what I mean? I went for a weekend away to Skeggy or wherever. I think you do need to try and separate it a bit. If you want to just do the happy pictures of you going for a walk on the weekend, I would think keep that to your social. People can always find that on your site, because of course you're going to have your social link through on that, and then they'll be able to see that, oh, he likes going walking on weekends. But I don't think if you did a blog post on that's really going to help you. If you're going to be personable, come across in your blog posts, in your articles, but still try and work that in with the product or that you offer. I hope I've made sense, because I kind of lost track.
One thing I throw out there is in regards of will your rating go down, or will it affect your rating at all? That all depends on whether or not that's your main site. As Tim said, if it's your main site, I would actually recommend you to at least get up something, so that way you have business flowing. If it's not your main site, well, then I'd still recommend you to get it up. But in the meantime, trying to actually work on it to basically best fit its needs upon what Tim actually has expounded upon. That's about all I got.
Anyone else wishing to comment on this topic? I take that as a no. And let's move on to the next question. Question number 16 on your lists from Simas Jokubauskas, and it's about the best practice for tracking internal campaigns. Hello, what is the best practice for tracking internal campaigns? There's an example he posted. www.example.com/ start again. The example, www.example.com #UTM_source equals internal and UTM_medium equals link and UTM_campaign equals product group description. Hash or to use a question mark. And he links to the URL builder and he comments, as I see, Google uses hash for internal campaigns.
Did the internal campaigns have it listed there? I was looking at the link, I didn't see it.
Not entirely sure.
That's what I was kind of questioning about. Let me see.
Yeah, actually, he does. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, Łukasz Rogana has responded in the community, and he said, well, if you want to track internal campaigns, just use the UTM info, which will show you in your Google Analytics what's going on. And then Simas responded, thanks, and then if UTM, then which? Hash or question mark, or and actually, rather. And Łukasz said the second one, which is and.
Yeah, the second one won't work. I can tell you that right now. So what I'm trying to do is see if they've done an update, because the tool he linked to uses the question mark as the parameter. So the problem, of course, with if you're doing it, so it depends on when you define. Let's see, internal, medium, link, product group. So usually the problem with running tracking parameters is that creates duplicate URLs. And so that's why he was asking about whether or not you can use the hashtag for that. I'm trying to remember if they've actually done an update to allow that. I don't recall offhand. Most of the stuff I'm trying to recall is usually just like tracking hashtags, which is not what we're looking for. I'm not sure if that's actually doable. It may be. I think the way you have to do it is set the. So you have. I think you have to actually. Oh, this is. Was setting allow anchor to be true, which means that then, unfortunately, I think all the other areas in which there's a hashtag included, it would then be tracked, if I recall. So it is possible, but there might be some downsides just to be aware of. that might come up. So you just have to be careful. You might just have to be careful with that. So yeah, you can. Yeah, if you're going to want to track that without creating the duplicate URLs and having all those redirects kind of come into place, then yeah, you can use a hashtag, but you have to. I don't know what it is under Universal Analytics, but in the older version, you had to basically say that the set allow anchor is true. But that also potentially means that any other parts of your page that has a hashtag on it is going to be showing up in your Google Analytics account. So just be aware of that.
Okay, anyone else? In that case, let's move on to question number 17. And questions from John DOZ. And it states, what about SEO for wearables? Goes on to say, so in 2013-14, it was all about SEO for mobile optimization, etc. 2015 and beyond, what about SEO for wearables?
This sounds like a good, fun discussion down in more of a news section than it is a question, but still. Well, that kind of requires wearables to actually be commonplace. The watches are, first off, not really. I'm going to actually, personally, I don't classify them as wearables because that's like, hey, we now have something from the Dick Tracy era of way back in the 1900s. Yeah, that's not exactly wearables when, for the most part, all your stuff is already done through other devices today. Google Glass has to kind of actually be hip. I guess the closest you could say is a little bit with the Fitbit, but there's not really much that you're using that for because it just, I think, as Dave Elliott said, it just ties back to your phone. So you need something that's essentially going to be of value. So a replacement of either body parts, it's going to be replacements for, in a lot of ways, for your phone. That instead of having to take it with you and put it into your pocket, it's got to do some additional things that would make your phone kind of obsolete. So that's kind of a bit of the downside there. And then the question is, do those wearables actually have the necessity or need for being SEO centric? As in, does it need a set of results, or is it just going to give you the best answer possible? So if you take a look at how Siri works, Siri often just gives you one set of results. It just goes, say, straight to a website like Yelp and gives you the top result or something. So those are kind of some of the potential issues to consider is, will there even be SEO for wearables? So if we're going to go down that path, go one step further is kind of one of the fun ways I'd look at it. I don't know if you guys have different views there, though. No one? You?
It's a bit
I mean, we
like
could go
looking
with,
into the crystal ball.
I mean, we could go into like areas of augmented reality, which, you know, has been continually people have been trying to, you know, do some interesting stuff with. But that requires at least some type of glass to be of interest and of value. And it's not like there haven't been any sci-fi books that talk about some of those things too. But yeah, I think that it'd be interesting to see. I mean, you can imagine essentially with kind of augmented glasses and trying to get into showing up and leading you to different locations and different stores. So should be kind of cool if the kind of wearable market actually would be less about kind of get me to where I am now versus, okay, I have lots of options, where should I go? So it just depends on how people are going to be using those sets of wearables.
Any more comments, views, predictions? No? Doesn't seem
Yeah, I
like
predict
it.
the next question is going to be a whole lot easier than that one.
On that
Oh.
on that note, shall we move on? And
Let's see if it's right.
Actually, that was the end of the question, and we're going to move on to
Yes, I was right.
the news item. And there seems to be only one this week, as far as I can see. So it's news, and it's numbered 18, and it was posted by Randy Milanovic, and it is framed as a question. It states, does social engagement affect search results? Amon Johns responds to the question, in your opinion, do commenting tools such as Discuss, Intense Debate, and Livefire improve or lessen opportunities to build semantic value, trust, or authority? From Amon, I would say all tools help. However, trust and authority are developed over time, while a polished first impression may help expedite this process. It cannot be a substitute for it. You cannot fake the value or originality of your words, and this is where semantic value is derived from. So I would say tools help and can improve opportunities. However, it is important to remember that they are only tools. What you say has to matter to begin with, and it doesn't matter the font, the irrelevant information. Sorry, lost my track there. I'm going to reread the paragraph again. So I would say tools help and can improve opportunities. However, it is important to remember they're only tools. What you say has to matter to begin with, and it doesn't matter the font that irrelevant information uses. Do you agree with Ammon? View the complete discussion presented at www.kayakonlinemarketing.com/blog/das-social-effect-search-results. So, open to you. Or over to you, rather.
I think it just always comes down to how the tool is being used both by the owner and as well as the consumer. I think that's really kind of what matters. If your tool set is just being used by consumers and they're just like, hi, hey, I'm selling this new little pill for you, it's not going to be of help. It's going to look like spam. If you're using it for spam purposes on pages where it just doesn't really make sense for people to comment on, it's probably not of value there. So I just think it really depends on its right situation for the right users. And those types of things can be of value. Just like with any kind of technology, it's really how it's being used.
Any other comments? Agreements, disagreements?
I agree. I mean, the only thing I would actually only comment on that regard is I do agree with what Micah said in the regards of it all depends on how you use the technology. Technology can be used for a good thing, it can be used for a bad thing. It just all depends on how you use it. But with that being said, yep.
Anyone else with any comments?
No, I missed all that. Sorry about that. So I can just say that it's finished snowing here.
We can say that David is a tool, so how's that?
That David is a tool.
Sorry, couldn't help that one there.
I'm just going to shut up. I'm not going to say
Oh, yeah. Do we?
I guess we got him smiling at least once today. Burn that many calories.
Rob in the comments has a good one about the Chrome Canary display. If we wanted to talk about HTTP as non-secure, or save that for next week.
I think we can discuss that, can't we? Jim, are you there?
Next week, everything can be different.
No, it might be released on the stable channel. We never know. No, I think we can have a chat about that. No?
I'm all for it, but yeah. Go for it, Rob. You started it.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm for or against it yet. I do see what they are trying to do, but I think that little lock with a red mark is not that scary. But on the other end, a lot of websites absolutely don't need it. And if 90% of the websites will have that little red icon there, nobody will take notice of it anymore. So.
Yeah, I think it's
early.
It's a little early. I don't know. I'm I'm not exactly I understand the push for it, and I wish kind of at the start you could have said that it was something like that. I mean, I probably would have preferred just take a lock and have it unlocked. It doesn't necessarily imply secure as heavily as this X almost. The X to me implies broken, because that's what I usually see when something is broken is something that looks like an X, not non-secure. Or just like I've checkmarked it off or something and I haven't finished something. Like I might go, like if I'm, where's my, yeah, like to me an X, because this is me as a Firefox user, an X means the page is still loading. And so it's like, oh, I got to click this X to stop it. So I think, and I wonder if that actually could still be the case in Chrome. But I don't know. I think it's one thing to ask for permission and then start trying to do it and push everybody towards it. I don't know. I think it's an abuse of a position to do that. I don't think it's a good idea offhand.
So in a sense, there are two issues out there. One is the principle of whether it's a good idea to do it or not, and the second one is how to do it. What's the best way of communicating the difference?
Yeah. I think that's fair. Particularly, it's like how are people going to actually react to it? And that reaction could be in many different ways, from the people freaking out to IT just saying, yeah, just start ignoring it, and people ignore it, and now the situation is worse because people completely then ignore what that looks like, and so when people are actually supposed to be on a secured shopping cart page, they don't look at it anymore to make sure it is secured. So that's another potential risk that they're doing with that.
I think it's a matter of preference on the way it looks, to be honest. I mean, it should basically be, if you want it to look one way, then you could set it to look that way. But that's not the way it is, but that's the way it probably should end up being. Because that would basically get a lot more people. Because if you have a red X over it, or you have an X at all, to some people this is a not safe site. As you said, to you it's still loading. To me, it just shows a green lock. It don't even show an X. So with that being said, it just, I guess it all depends on regards of what your exact opinion is about the exact topic.
Yeah.
How do you think people...
Like user discretion. Go ahead.
Sorry. How do you think people will react? I mean, people who are not, who essentially just people who surf the net, perhaps buy things, go on social networks, singing sites, do things online. But, for them, the difference between a secure and non-secure site, that's complete mystery.
I have my shopping family who buy everything online, and only since a few days I have convinced them that they must look at HTTPS as soon as they start filling in something. But it has taken me about half a year.
So to those people, seeing an X, a red X or green padlock,
I wouldn't notice.
They might even think that it's just the logo of CNN.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think it should be a matter of preference, not a matter of what it actually is.
What you mean? You want people? You wanna make it opt-in?
No, what I'm saying is, if, like, for instance, you, Micah, you find the X to be it's still loading. You said that, correct?
Yeah.
So basically, if you find it to be it loading, then you could set that when you set up your internet browser or set up whatever you use. You said you use Firefox. When you set up your Firefox, you can set up the settings kind of like you do when you first boot up a Windows. You can set what you want things to be.
Oh yeah. You're
And
talking
every
about
user can do that, but that's not the way it actually is. But that's the way it probably should be. But that's a whole different topic, talking about Microsoft and all the things that they throw out there.
Well, yeah, but Google doesn't believe in opt-in; they believe in opt-out. So.
But yeah, user discretion.
User discretion is not best.
That's always a problem when the users have to be educated first, and most users don't want to be educated.
Indeed, most users just want to hop on there and go and either surf the web or buy things or play video games or go look at blogs, and they don't even pay attention to the URL.
No, because that should be the easy part. Why should they worry about that process?
That's probably the most, to be honest, the simplest part about a computer is looking at a URL. But most people don't even know how to read a URL.
Yeah, but if they do look, they're gonna.
What happens if you didn't show your URL in Chrome?
Say again.
Well, I assume you have the possibility to not show the URL bar in Chrome too. You can leave it out as a...
Well, you can, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just because you can take it away doesn't mean that it's not useful, or doesn't mean that you shouldn't see it. I mean, that's the way you can tell easily whether or not something, like I don't know what browser you people are using, but I know I use Google Chrome all the time. So, as a Google Chrome user, if it has an exploit, kind of like you popped up there on that wiki page, then that basically is saying, at first it would give me a thing saying it's an unsecure location, would you like to go to it? It would give me a warning. But to the average individual, they don't even pay attention to that warning. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. But to address your exact question, yes, you can get rid of the URL, if I'm not mistaken, in most, if not all, browsers. But there'd be no point in getting rid of it when you're probably going to be going right back to it.
Well, you guys in Europe, how is
somebody who finds it annoying just puts it out of sight.
How was it in Europe when that whole brouhaha over the mandatory use of listing cookies went down? I mean, that's probably going to be the most similar situation. How is like the general public's reaction beyond not the public reaction to what they were telling sites to do, but in viewing the little, warning this site used cookies stuff?
Most people just
warning. Some people block their complete web page nowadays, and you will have to agree to cookies. They almost made it into USP or something like that. We can give you more exact information if you accept cookies, so click the button. But most of the sites don't do that. And I assume almost all sites use cookies, one way or the other.
That's kind of like saying most websites use history.
Yeah. Yeah, it also depends on whether or not some type of drop-down comes out of that. It'll be interesting.
Indeed.
Well, they will test it and try and see what happens. But their aim is to literally educate people about security, that kind of security.
Yeah, the communication security part of it.
I noticed David is not speaking at all. Is it because the last time he opened his mouth something went terribly wrong, or?
Whenever he opens his mouth, something goes terribly wrong.
David, are you there?
No, he's silent. He's frozen.
Yeah, we need to send a torch over his way to unthaw him.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Dude, mate, they have been slagging you off like there is no
tomorrow.
Mate, you don't even...
Like you were a Tim.
I would just hang up now, buddy. I would just hang up now, mate, because there's no coming back from the slagging you just took.
No, it's not.
I only take it as much as I can receive it, so don't worry.
I think, on a serious note, I think this cross business is a load of bullshit. It's kind of taking a complex matter and dumbing it down so much that the information and the understanding is probably useless.
The unfortunate part is, I agree with them.
Okay, that's good. That balances out some of the rudeness earlier, but.
So there's the function.
That's hard to say, but.
Yeah, it's hard to balance out what we said earlier.
Well, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
trying
there's
to make it easy.
so there's the, if you like, the functional element, what it does and what it hopes to achieve, aims to achieve on one side, and there's, in a sense, a larger issue of the symbolic value of this, isn't there? That it's not necessarily it's not all about the functions. There's an element of a symbolic thing about Chrome/Google wishing to do this.
Yeah, I guess that's really what I was saying about the meaning of this cross. It's rather nasty, sort of try and wind the poor buggers up. It's a bit like the powers that be globally telling us that we're all about to be killed by various insurgents. It's a kind of big brother scaring you, or at least there's an aspect to that I really wonder what it's all about. There you are. Oh God, I shut them all up.
And on that bombshell.
No, I think thorough good conspiracy theory in at any time. It either causes more talk or it shuts them up totally.
Okay, I have to say this. I'm sorry. Viewer discretion advised. Conspiracy theory up next.
Jim, are you there?
Hello, Jim. Should we join hands and contact the gym?
Maybe we can get a Ouija board out. Well, we might be able to reach him from beyond.
Oh, no, plan.
Wake up, Jim.
Yes. Unfortunately, Jim's the only person who can stop the live broadcast.
I was just wondering about that.
Otherwise,
is there anybody else in here that's a monitor? I take that as a no.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have to go for 8 hours.
Or until he returns.
Yes.
Unfortunate. Because I'm pretty sure everyone in this call has a life.
The problem is we used to be able to like go, "Oi, Jim," and he'd come, but because his office, his computer used to be in the lounge. Now his missus chucked him down into the basement. So for all we know, poor old Jim's had a heart attack. The fucking dog is eating his leg. Do you know what I mean? And we just don't know. And
I'm starting to smell a slam coming.
And the missus is upstairs. She's not listening to us. And, she can't hear us. And Jim's down there dead, being eaten by a dog.
And there you have it, gentlemen. They're premeditated by Tim.
Jim's dead and he's been eaten by a dog.
If the cops ever want to know what happened, we can simply point at Tim and say, ask him what happened. He describes it.
The old KGB dog trick, Tim?
Yeah.
It's the poison umbrella. That's what it is. He's been talking because he's gone down the escalator.
Remind me, Tim, not for me to ask you how I die, okay? I don't want to know, okay? Now I will be so bold as to ask this: How does David die?
Waves of hate from other panel members.
I didn't say it was hate, okay?
He just wanted to know if it was entertaining.
There was a reason behind it. I mean, everybody else has been picking on you the whole time, so might as well throw my 2 cents in there.
This hangout has turned into dark corner, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it's normally me. It's normally me that's being ripped to shreds. I find this relaxing and uplifting. This is a wonderful.
See, Tim needs admin in here.
More work. He's got more work. That means more money for him.
Yeah, this is just.
See, as long as I've been in this call, Tim has been able to slam David. And he's been able to slam Jim at the exact same time and get away with it. Now, don't ask him that. But I'll tell you this. I'm still waiting on that prediction. When you get that prediction, let me know. Because I'm pretty sure David even wants to know that one, so he knows how to try to avoid it.
I'm waiting for the higher ups to tell me. I'm a sort of middle level. I don't,
Yeah, I understand. I mean, they have to get warmed up, and then they have to go through a cooling process to cool just right. I mean, David is so lucky that they're not telling you right now.
Yeah. There's obviously a time delay between the upper echelons and myself, and
there are just so many echelons to go through to get down to your level.
I'll tell you what, mate.
Like that away where you could say there's not enough echelons to get down to your level.
Oh, I wonder where Jim has gone.
Yes. Seriously, we need him to end the public broadcast. Otherwise, this is going to be an 8-hour hangout, of which about 6 hours would be just Jim's profile on screen.
Oh, you give him plenty of advertisement. But who else wants the advertisement will stay in here? That's the question.
Yeah.
Now I see brains with smoke pouring out of the ears. Like, do I want to sit here for 8 hours?
We have done, I think. I think Jim was actually being eaten by a dog by the end of it, but I think we have done an 8-hour.
No, we've done a couple of 4 hours, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Because they used to be cut off at 4 hours, yeah.
And now I think it's 8. I'm not so sure whether it's changed now, but I think it's still 8.
It's 8 now.
Oh, no. Okay. So we've never actually done a full-on 8-hour one. So... No, I can't, mate. Tonight's family night. Tonight's family night for me, boys. Sorry, I've got a get out of jail free card.
If you call that a get out of jail free card, I don't know what you call an actual get out of jail free card.
Actually, the funniest thing is 2 weeks ago when I was telling everyone about it, because the missus has decided, she came home one night and said, right, that's it. Once a week we have like a family night. And you basically stop work at sort of like 5:30, and then that's it. And I was moaning about it the other night, going about 2 weeks ago on the hangout, going, well, what the fuck's this all about? I only get warmed up by 5:30. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm saying, whoa, I've got to get out of jail free card, boys.
Yeah, well, I don't ever want to hear you say I'm the man of my house.
Yeah. I am.
Because you're not. The missus is the person of the house.
She who must be obeyed.
Thou shalt honor thy wife.
Yeah.
I bet you she has 10 more commandments to go along with that too.
Yeah, I bet she does. Mind you, I tell you, Lars, I don't know if I mentioned in one of these hangouts, I might have done, but for her birthday.
Tim, just to warn you,
hold on, Tim. I have to say, before you start talking about this, you might want to realize you're live. She can probably come back and watch this.
No, she won't. She won't go through 3 hours of misery too. But
if you say so.
I got her she's always like wanted to do a bit of cake decorating and cupcakes and make all these ice things and all this kind of stuff. Like, icing decoration, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, for her birthday, I got her a 7-week course in cake decorating and ice, all that kind of stuff, yeah? Anyway, last night was the first one. So basically, Wednesday nights for the next 7 weeks are mine.
Hey, Tim, you didn't just pay attention to what Rob said, did you?
What did Rob just say?
Rob said he'll send her the time.
Oh, fucking yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was about to get away with it too. I hope this isn't this birthday. Because if it is, then you just had your plans spoiled right in front of your eyes.
God damn.
So what are you going to do for the family night tonight?
Oh boy, that's a big question.
Well, I don't know. I think it's Claudia's turn to pick what food we're having. So she's more than likely gonna say pizza. More than likely. And I believe, I don't know which one of them is picking up the movie on the way home. So it's just gonna be a movie this week. Last week we were we went dog racing.
Oh, greyhounds.
Yeah, greyhounds. Yeah, the dogs.
When the first word starts with the last bit of it's gonna be trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, and the week before we just did cards, and I think the week before it's like what's the movie? It's a game, Fact or Crap, which is actually, guys, it's brilliant. I don't know if you've ever seen that game, Fact or Crap. Yeah, it's just basically.
I live in the U.S., so you're gonna have to inform me of that.
Massa, that is just so freaking weird, mate.
So we're now going to have to judge whether this is fact or crap.
No, hang on. I've got. Let me just.
No, just most of Tim's suggestions about SEO.
No, look, we got this especially the other night for our game.
Oh, crap.
Fact or crap? Well, I definitely.
Yeah, mate.
I think that's crap.
I'm telling you, no, it's actually quite cool. So basically, the way it works is.
Cool in Northamptonshire.
So basically, the way it is each player gets like a fact and crap card. Yeah.
Wow, great. That means you got one too.
Obviously, and I'll just pick out.
Yours, right?
We should have one in the forum too.
You know what? I'll tell you what, guys. Give me your addresses. I'm going to send you fact or crap cards. And basically, that will speed up our sessions, won't it? So every Thursday, someone writes, go to link, and we'll just go.
Oh, we can't do that because then the broadcast will be too long. I mean, look at David. He's already having a seizure.
Okay, so then basically, and it's got some really interesting questions, like all over. Like there's one here going.
I'm just jumping around. What is going on here?
What? Don't you want a fact or crap question?
Hey Tim, did you just say what? His picture was? This picture was like him having a seizure.
Who's having a seizure?
Okay, let's have one, Tim.
All right, chaps. I'll give you one. Okay. So, fact or crap? Bob Hoskins and Pierce Brosnan both worked as fire eaters.
Who's the first one?
I don't know, mate.
I call that.
The point is then you've got to to hold up your answer card, obviously not show it, and then obviously whoever gets it first right gets like 2 tokens. You've got all these little shitty tokens here. Anyway,
So was it right or was it wrong? I want to
no,
know.
it's fact, mate. It's fact.
Well, then I was wrong. What do I lose?
You've got to give me 2 tokens now, mate.
Well, too bad. I don't have 2 tokens to give you.
Well, then you're out the game, son, if you've already lost all your tokens.
Well, see, if I don't have any to begin with, then I need the bank to front me some, so you better start fronting me a whole bunch of tokens.
Hey, yes. One. I think this is an American thing. I don't know. Anyway,
I think there might be a
Carly
lone down the street. Don't worry.
Huh? Hang on, let me find something that's.
Yeah. Find something that actually has to do with where I can actually relate to it in America.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, because if you're talking about Britain and Moscow, I'm honestly, it's like across the pond.
Okay, here's one. One of the ingredients of dynamite is peanuts.
Really?
One of the ingredients of dynamite.
How does that pertain to America?
No. You don't. I'm trying to not give you. This is a very general kind of question. It's got no geographical based.
I'm gonna go crap.
I think that's fact, actually.
It is a fact. It is a fact indeed.
TNT.
Dynamite. I didn't say TNT.
Yeah,
TNT is not dynamite.
It's the same thing.
No,
it's
they're
not the same thing.
No, it's not. Anyway, next question.
Hey, okay, this is a cool one. Right. Fact or crap. Women in Renaissance England. Okay, I'm sorry.
England.
Yeah.
Come on.
We are not on the watershed.
Wore lipstick with names including horseflesh, rat, and puke.
Crap.
That sounds like fact.
Yeah, it sounds like England.
It is a fact indeed.
Hey, you have to think about it. If it sounds stupid enough, it's probably a fact.
That's actually probably the way to
Do I
look
have
at
to give
it.
you one of these then?
Oh, we're not talking about a quarter.
Oh, it's much less than that. It's a penny.
Oh, in that case, a penny.
A penny. Oh, okay, a penny. Yes, there we go. I should put that over into
Well, I see your first knuckle now.
I can't believe
next
See
one.
what?
Let's see. Next one.
I'm trying to find one that's kind of sort of.
Just shoot a question out there, okay? Because it doesn't matter at this point. You already asked the last question, and I guess it was right apparently. So we're on a roll now. Let's go.
I'm going to leave for a while.
Oh boy.
Where are you going? Where's he going? Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg once worked as a makeup artist for corpses.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
Doesn't she still do that?
Yeah, no, it's crap. No, sorry, mate. It's fact. It's fact.
See, there you go.
See, there you go.
Okay, here we go.
Micah, stop copying me.
The coyote once caught the roadrunner.
Okay, that's crap.
That's gotta be crap.
Stop
Can't
copying me, Mike.
I don't care.
It's-
It can't be. The whole point is it's supposed to be crap.
It's fact, people.
Oh yeah,
Does it list the episode?
It didn't
Yeah.
say whether he ate him or he mistakenly let him go when he fell on him. The question was he once
so it
caught
fell
him.
on him.
Well, fell on him doesn't count as catching.
No, I'm saying, you know, in those coyote things, like he catches him and then a fucking anvil falls on his head, and then the roadrunner gets away and runs again. But the question was he once caught him. Didn't say whether he demolished him, ate him, devoured him, cooked him, anything like that. He once caught him.
Okay.
Yes, he is. Some of these you need to really listen. The glowfish is a genetically engineered glow-in-the-dark zebrafish.
Crap.
Yeah, I'm going crap.
Hey, you're all wrong. It's fact.
But that's crap.
It may be a fact, but still, yeah.
In 2005, the Isle of Man briefly renamed itself the Isle of Woman.
Was that after was that during when somebody else took over in a coup de grace?
I have no idea, mate, but it is a fact. Here we go. In 2007, the Vatican created a new set of 10 commandments, this time for the rules of the road when you're driving.
I think that's fact.
I'm going to go with fact just because that one sounds awesome.
It is a fact. Fucking hell.
Is it split 50-50% or 10-90%?
Well, Tim's the quizmaster, so he's choosing the cards.
Here we go. Every year, more people are killed in New York City on TV than are killed in real life.
Killed or murdered?
Oh.
It's going to be more on TV.
More are killed in New York City on TV than are killed in real life.
I'd say more on TV.
Yay! And you win a token, mate, just for you. There you go.
Got it. Hey. This is a British token. This is not worth anything. Here, take it back.
When
At least they're more worth than euro cents.
Good point.
When they eat something poisonous, some frogs throw up their entire stomach and wipe it off with their legs.
Dude, that's awesome if it's true.
I think it's true. I hope it's true.
It is fact.
I would do that too. Yeah.
Huh.
Alfred Nobel created the Nobel Prize after he read his own obituary.
Yeah. Oh, that's often been said, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. It's certainly been taken as a sort of a fact, but I'm not sure whether that's actually true or not. Oh.
It's not that I don't like playing the fact or crap game, because I think Tim is both of them, but that's beside the point.
Well, according to the game, it says it's a fact.
Oh, according to the guy that made the game, he says it's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, so that makes me feel a whole lot better. That means that David must be both of them. Or, yeah, David.
In 1952, Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel, but he declined.
That sounds like crap. But I'll stay for the answer, then I gotta go, unfortunately.
And it is true.
Yeah. In the last lifetime.
Okay, hang on. You people are. Here we go. I've got something for the United States here.
Oh boy. I'll stay for only the last one here.
Yeah, the last one. One of the world's largest communities of Icelandic people.
It's crap.
Outside of Iceland is a group of Mormon converts in Utah.
See, if I believe David, then I'll have to be accused of being a David follower.
Oh,
I say, if I
There
say
are
the
many
opposite.
millions of them worldwide. Many
If I-
millions of them.
Well,
five
you know
people
what?
does
You
not
know what?
count as a large population.
I'm actually gonna say it's actually crap. Okay.
It's a fact.
Okay. Well, David, I was trying to support you there, but you gave me a little to no option. So we know you're not full of facts. Anyway, on that note, I'll see you guys later.
Cheers, guys.
Later.
See ya.
See you later.
Jim, where are you? Wake up!
Alright, I'm out as well. So, good day.
Good day.
Cheers, cheers.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Eventually, we'll just have to leave Jim alone.
Where did he go? I mean, did he obviously I missed it, but did he kind of say I'm going for like a nap or?
Well, he said he's going to walk around the house and sort of refresh. But
So basically, he walked upstairs. The missus said, "You know, why don't you just bloody go to bed?" And he thought, "Oh, yeah, I will after this glass of wine," and then passed out.
Fact or crap?
Oh, classic, yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah. No, the only thing that if we all leave is that the hangout will be running still, and I don't know how many people have been invited, but people might just jump in and do all sorts of weird things.
Yeah, actually, they could do, couldn't they?
Yeah, so that's the only reason.
I know some already did.
So that's the reason why I would like to have the live broadcast terminated. Otherwise, we just don't know what's going to happen if you all leave, and leaving Jim alone.
Oh.
Because I don't think we can eject him, right?
No idea, man.
Yeah, so, well, I could just keep it running and keep an eye on it. Just two avatars sitting there, sadly, not doing anything.
I'll tell you, these guys in Thailand, they infuriate me sometimes. They've just been working on a new site, which they said to me today, oh, it's about to go live, and I looked at it and I was like, no! It's like, it winds me up. Why don't we fix the issues on all the other sites that I'm currently, working on, that I keep sending you. I've got like a shared Google Doc for them on problems on every site that needs to be worked through with the developers, except they keep trying to rush new sites which are still got all the issues in it. It's like, no, just fucking leave that. Let's go back to the first site and start again. I just don't understand it. It's like, oh, we've got to push it out, we've got to develop this new one, and then they've got this new one opening and another new one opening, and they just keep making the same mistakes on every site. Fucking wind me up, man.
Launch is exciting, maintenance is boring. I mean, I think that's a problem. That many people are excited to push things out, and making sure that things work after they're launched.
Yeah,
Not so exciting.
yeah, for sure. Definitely, mate.
And that's a bit of and of course they are the client, so it's difficult to really force them to do something that they don't want to do. After all, they are the client.
Yep. Yeah, but I think I managed to delay them. Well, they haven't made it live, that's for sure, and we're going to have a hangout tomorrow morning. And I'm going to be like, come on, just let's look at these pages. In fact, I'm still working on the first fucking site they sent me. Just trying to, it's like anything, just trying to make the user experience better. And
What arguments do you use to convince your client that, well, you need to hold off rather, and make changes when they're so keen to push it out? How would you go about convincing them to do otherwise?
well, my first thing is the first one is because I didn't even know this other one was being built at the time. It's not a new site; it's a redesign of an old site, another one of their resorts. And the first thing that I'm going to be able to delay them on is, right, we need a full list of URLs from the current site, because if you release this site, you're just going to lose all equity completely. It's just going to be like, we need to plan out the URLs, and we need to get that. And whilst they're doing that, gives me breathing space to then speak to the marketing director and show him individual pages and say, look, we've got no call to action on here. So your new luxury, the new fucking beachfront suite, I can't book the room on. This one I can't book the room on. This one I can't book the room on. You know what I mean? And then he will go, oh, you know what? Yeah, totally right. User experience completely fucked up. And then he will push it back on. He will push back on that. In theory.
Okay, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Hmm. Okay.
Where is Jim?
No, dude, I think he's Like I say, he's had a heart attack, mate. He's been eaten by a dog.
He's been jumped up and down on by a kangaroo.
Yeah, he was slagging kangaroos off or something earlier on, wasn't he? He said something about
Did
kangaroo.
he? Oh.
I don't know, yeah, he must have done. He upset kangaroos or something. They're probably devouring the flesh from his carcass right now.
Yummy.
It's gone really macabre, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think this section will be all sort of excised and removed from the the final version that appears as the hangout.
Yeah, I think they cut this off ages ago. I mean, this will be edited out totally.
Yeah. Well, it should be. You'll be in trouble.
Yeah, provide Jim with a bit of a laugh, won't it? Let's try and sort this one out.
He's 11 hours ahead of us, isn't he? 6, 4. Yeah. It's middle of the night.
La 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 la.
I know. I'm just trying to bounce like 10 different. All these sites are built in all sorts of little different bits and bobs. It just winds you right up.
This could be the most boring video of all time.
Does anyone have a fireplace?
Fireplace. I have a chimney breast, but not a fireplace.
Then we could, or Argo or something like that. And then we just put a fire there and do the Norwegian. How many people remember? I can't remember. There's a television station in Norway that broadcast, was it about 10 hours of log burning?
Yeah, Logfire. Yeah.
One of the most watched TV programs in Norway.
Yeah, there was a TED talk about slow TV in Norway quite
Oh, God.
recently, and they were doing things like getting on a ferry and going up the west coast of. Well, I suppose there is only one west coast of Norway, isn't there? And just looking at the coastline and waving at people and stuff. And this is apparently very popular. But this is a nation that eats rotten fish and eats cheese with maggots in.
Yep. Right, I need to grab a coffee.
I need to go and feed my ailing wife. So I'll be back if there's someone still here when I get back. I may even talk to you. Otherwise, until next week.
Ciao.
Ciao. For now.
Right, there's some music. I don't know where that's coming from.
Oh, that was me.
Ah, okay. I thought Jim has revived.
No such luck.
Is anyone there?
Yes, mate, I'm still here.
Ah,
Yep, me too.
Yeah, and myself.
how sad is that?
No, we're just trying to protect Jim's live channel for the minute. Ultimately, we'll just give up and think, ah, fuck it, Jim, sort it out yourself, man.
Yeah, I think the Hangout started about just past midday, was it? 1:45, something like that. So, well, about 4.5 hours to go. Then it will run its course, and it will shut down, and we're all free.
Well, I've just had a dawning this morning that there's been a bit of a cock up on a site that I've been involved with. They this is something that goes back to